Out there. We sincerely hope everybody's having an amazing day today. The Saga DAO Alpha Club is officially pumped to announce our official partnership with the legends over at Cabbage.app. And today we have Antonio joining us, and we're going to take a deep dive into everything that Cabbage has been pioneering, and we couldn't be more bullish on the future.
Thank you so much, Pierre, Doug. Very happy to be here.
Super excited to learn about your guys' tool that you guys have on Solana now. Super excited.
No, absolutely. So, Antonio, if we can we just get just a quick, brief description of everything Cabbage has been pioneering, and then we can deep dive into all the details behind the platform?
Awesome. So, is it okay if I share my screen or? Yeah, awesome.
100%.
Let me share my screen so I can walk people through the platform. So I'm going to start with Twitter, right? So Cabbage is an AI-powered platform built on top of Solana, which allows you, it's a trading platform. So it really allows you to catch coins very early, but also to see any trends that might be interesting about coins that maybe have been in the ecosystem for many years. It could be like a DeFi platform like Camino, or it could be something like Bonk, right? We will just like get a signal when something is happening that makes that coin be very hot. You know, for example, a lot of smart wallets are accumulating that coin in silence, you know? So it's also interesting to mention that Cabbage is built by Stader Labs. So Stader Labs is a company backed by Pantera, by Coinbase, by Jump, had $40 million in total fundraised. And it has its line of liquid staking tokens in places like Ethereum, for example, ETH, which is our biggest product. But we have now launched this project in Solana, right? And so it has been in development for 9 months, but it has launched in alpha launch, you know, so currently only with referral links. And that's why SagaDAO has one of them. But we'll soon, in the first half of June, it's going to be open to the public, right? So everybody will be able to join without the need of a code, right? And so I'm going to change my tab now. I'm going to go to the Cabbage, the Cabbage platform. And what you have here is a feed where you can see different tokens that people are buying, you know, and when we call the market cap at, right? So for example, this token called Jail was called by Cabbage when it was only $39,000 of market cap, and it reached a market cap of 3.4 million, right? So if somebody had bought it when we called it and sell at the top, it would be a 50x, right? So there are certain things that we look at to call a token. What we normally look at, and the most important indicator, is that there are enough smart money wallets that are accumulating the token, right? So for example, this token Maneki, right, has been accumulated by 46 smart money wallets that hold a total of 1.7 million out of the total market cap, which is 17 million, right? So 10% of the coin is on the hand of smart money wallets. And how we do determine that it's a smart money wallet is because they have a big average win rate, right? These people are trading coins that consistently are doing good, and they're selling at a profit, right? So that's a little introduction about what Cabbage is, right? So Cabbage is a trading platform, allows you to trade anything. You just, you know, you top up your wallet, you click trade, you buy anything you want, or you can just like in one click YOLO at it with 0.1 SOL, right? I'll talk about some other features in a moment, but let's answer some question.
Oh yeah, just real quick. So just to clarify, the average win rate then is the average win rate of the smart wallets, and that would be all 67 combined?
Correct. That's correct. And so what's also cool is that we have this donut, you know, that's telling you, for example, for Giga, well, it just went down, right? But the maximum the smart wallets held was 1 million And right now, 840,000 are being held. So as you can see, like the majority of the donut is green, they still hold this token, right? But if you go to some other token here, for example, Bolt, majority of people have already sold this token. So, it was spotted 5 days ago, but probably it's not good to buy this token already because we identified that 44 smart wallets were holding the token, but most of them have sold already, right? So there you have like different features for people to decide whether it makes sense to go into the coin or not. For example, here we're seeing Launchcoin. We called it at 2.5 million. It went up all the way to 370, right? So we're talking about 100x, and even until today, it's more than it's like 80x compared to the price we call that.
Yeah, that's super cool, actually.
Yeah, I think that it takes time to get used to the platform. It depends whether you are a beginner at the trenches or you are an expert, right? But what we are planning to do here is to have a single platform where you can have all the data, right? So you can see the market cap from the screener, you can see the bubble maps, right? And there are more and more features that are going to be added. As I say, like another major release is coming on the 10th of June and 10th, 15th of June. And that's where you're also going to see a lot of information from Twitter and other social media platforms. So in the end, this can be a one-stop shop for you to have everything you need to succeed on the trenches, right? And so something also interesting to mention here, right? Like, I also wouldn't like that people live with the impression this is exclusively about meme coins. It is undeniable that the major wins you are going to have are going to be on meme coins, right? Like, for example, Moonpig also called that 500,000 market cap, reached 125 million. So we're talking about another 100x. And I could show you a lot of screenshots here. I mean, it's very typical. Any week, we will see several 100x's, several 50x, 20x, etc. But it is not only for meme coins, right? So as I was saying, we will be able to see any major movement in the market. And I wanted to show you this example, right? Camino, right? Which is the leading DeFi platform in Solana, $2.4 billion TVL, a TGE'd 1 year ago, right? So at a certain point, Cabbage saw that several smart money wallets were accumulating this token, right? And what happened about, like 1 or 2 weeks after that is that Camino was listed on Binance, right? So from the moment we called it to that moment when it listed in Binance, it went 90% up, And here we're talking 90% up on a coin that it has a lot of fundamentals, like Camino is not a coin that's going to go to zero, right? Because we're talking about $2.4 billion TVL. We're talking about the Aave of Solana, right? So it's just like, so people understand that, hey, we could call coins that are not necessarily new coins, like maybe we could bonk, because suddenly a lot of smart money wallets are gathering bonk. And maybe you don't know, but they have some insider information. And with a platform like Cabbage, which is powered by AI, you might have that insider information too at your fingertips if you are actually active in the platform, no?
Yeah, 100%.
So I do have a quick question, Antonio, and I'm really glad that you touched on the part where, okay, it's not exclusively just for meme coins, but we all know that meme coins run off trends and meta, and that information is readily available on social media platforms. Mm-hmm. So from my understanding then, Cabbage, it can actually find those trends and everything going on, not just on Twitter, but other social media platforms, aggregate all that information and be able to let us know, okay, not only these smart wallets are getting into the specific token, but this is what social media is saying is popular at this moment. Am I correct in saying that?
That's correct. Yes. So mainly Twitter, Telegram bots. That's also like that social signal we look at to be calling coins.
That is absolutely amazing. Because again, as you just mentioned, it's not just about meme coins, but meme coins are very predominant, and they do have to do with, I call them culture, very much so about what's going on at the very moment. So I love that Cabbage is able to identify those trends, aggregate that information, and deliver it to the community.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah.
Now, is that information done behind the scenes, or can you actually see that information on your guys' app as well?
So that's when some of the updates are going to make it even more visible. So today, what's very visible, as I said, was like the market cap, it's called that, the all-time market cap, how many smart money wallets hold it, what percentage of them have sold, and the average win rate of those smart money wallets, right? We are going to continue adding features that today they are in the back end. So people can, like whether you are beginner or whether you are more advanced, you can make use of that data, no? For example, that Twitter cloud that a certain coin is having, right?
Essentially giving you a more educated decision before you ape into a token. Super exciting. Absolutely.
For example, you also have the screener tools, you have the bubble maps. As time passes by, we will be adding more and more features, right? Because the community is really, really active, giving us feedback. This is what I would like to see. This is what I look at when I decide, for example, like right now, you cannot put a target price to do an automated selling, but that's coming in a matter of a couple of weeks, right? So let's say you can buy a meme coin, you say, if it hits 10x, I want to sell automatically.
Wow.
So you'll be able to essentially take profits and stop losses inside the app.
Take profit, do a stop loss if things don't go right. Exactly, yes.
Oh, wow. That's
wow.
That's huge. I love it.
And, coming from the perspective of somebody who I don't consider myself a very advanced trader whatsoever. So when I look at platforms like Cabbage, again, this is here to be almost like my assistant. This is the way I'm looking at it. So I love the way, again, y'all are integrating all the information, not just on market trends, but what's actually going on behind the scenes with the market itself. So yes, this is absolutely bullish. We appreciate this very much, Antonio.
Awesome. That's great. And maybe something interesting to mention, right? One of the features we just launched are referrals, right? So today, when you go to Cabbage, the moment you trade 5 SOL, you will have a referral unlocked, right? So you will have a code you can share with your friends, an URL you can share with your friends, and you're going to be earning 40% of the trading fees, right? And they're going to be paid. It's very transparent how much volume has been done with your code and how much payment are you going to receive and when, right? So, instead of doing some flimsy point system or something that people never know when it's going to end or anything, it's very clear, we want to share the revenue with you. We give 40% on your trades, and you know exactly when you are going to receive the payouts, right? So that's our way also to share for people that are joining the community, because those are really OGs, right? Right now we have 6,000 people trading on Cabbage, and we have a wait list of more than 15,000 people. So if something is really trading today with Cabbage, like the SagaDAO guys that have signed so far, you are really OGs, right? So this is what we want to give you in return, right? We want to give you a fat portion of the fees that are generating with this trading.
So what you're trying to say then, Antonio, is that the Saga DAO Alpha Club just got exclusive access to a platform that the general public does not have access to yet. Am I correct in saying that?
Not yet. That's correct. So if, for example, somebody at Saga DAO, trades 5 SOL, he or she is going to unlock a code, then that's free for him to see who he wants to share that code with, and those SOL in volume that your referrers are going to get, it's going to accrue value to you, right? So, but that will be, it's first, you have that code that we gave to SagaDAO that is exclusive to you, and that gives you access to the platform in what we call alpha launch before the major launch in June.
Amazing. Now, if you don't mind, could we just take a few moments to explain to the community exactly how Saga Dao Alpha Club is benefiting from these referrals in a sense of, obviously, every month we're going to get 40% of the revenue coming back.
Mhm.
So once it actually goes public, our community members can actually use their personal referral code to bring in their friends and just continue building outside of that, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I'm gonna stop my screen for a minute, but yeah, I think last time I saw 17 people having joined on the SagaDAO referral code. So yeah, those 17 people are very linked to the SagaDAO, and then when they trade, they're also free to share that code with whoever they want. That's correct.
So they can use their referral code now, just to clarify.
Absolutely, yes. The one you have shared somewhere.
Right. And in turn, they would receive the exact same thing that SagaDAO is receiving, 40% on any of their referrals.
Correct. Yes. So you join with
Oh, go ahead, Antonio.
yeah, I mean that you join with the URL or once you you need to join with Telegram. You need to connect your Telegram to Cabbage, and then you need to input a code, right? Which in this case would be the one we gave to SagaDAO. I don't know if I can disclose it or not, but I think
no, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And we just wanted to make it very transparent as well to our Saga DAO community and the Saga DAO Alpha Club community, excuse me, that the 40% that we are receiving through this referral code works exactly like all the other rewards within the Alpha Club. That money goes straight into our kitty, goes straight into the community in order for us to continue to scale and build the Alpha Club. So all these referrals we're generating through this exclusive referral link is going right back to the community.
And 54% of that will be distributed as rewards monthly. So that's super exciting. So the community will actually be receiving 54% of anything that we receive from this amazing opportunity you guys have given us. So we really, really appreciate that, and we're excited to work with you guys. To backtrack a little bit though, I was kind of hoping you might be able to explain to us the difference between, say, the AI feed and DGEN feed, and how we would use those separately.
Sure. Let me share my screen again, and we can go to the feed.
I just want to make sure that our community members understand exactly how to use everything on your app.
Correct. So let me see, for example. I think I have too many tabs open. Basically,
I have the same problem.
The DGEN feed is just looking at the smart money wallets, right? So the DGEN feed is gonna call coins at a lower market cap. You can see here, like 45K, 96K, right? The AI feed looks at more things than just smart wallets, looks also at Twitter, looks at other signals. So it normally, you see like the X's here are smaller, it's like 3X, 2X, because it's looking at more things and it takes more time to call the coin, right? So that's why, DGEN feed, it's called DGEN feed, it's because as soon as we have like 10 wallets that are smart, that have bought the token, we're gonna call it. But you have more chances to make that 100X or that 50X. You also have more probability that the coin goes to zero, right? So I can also, later I'll give you, there are a few 1-minute videos, and there is also 1-minute video that explains the difference between AI feed and DGEN feed. But basically it's about that. It's about the number of signals and parameters that we look at before calling a coin, right? DGEN being more DGEN, AI being a little bit more curated. I really recommend people, like when you top up your wallet, at first, use just 0.1 sol only, use the one-click button, do some on the DGEN feed, do some on the AI feed, buy and sell, and you will also find what's better for you. You'll find your own recipe, Because I have a lot of people that, DGEN Feed is really, really popular. It's what, because in the end, it's a project that a lot of people in the trenches use. They already are sort of used already how things work. They want something really DGEN. They want to be buying when the coin barely has 50K or 100K market cap, right? But if something
higher risk reward
is still a beginner, he says, okay, I want to buy, let's say, more quality meme coins, meme coins that also have a clout on Twitter, and I want to see something more than just like 10 or 15 smart wallets have it.
Okay. Now, I do have a question for you, Antonio. On the more beginner side, so let's say somebody like my wife, for example, who is not a very experienced trader, has never really dealt with platforms like this. So as you mentioned before, you do have to connect your wallet to the Telegram. Now, let's say I do the YOLO, I hit the 0.1.
Yeah.
Do I have an in-app wallet within Cabbage, or do I have to basically, use my Phantom as well, just for the beginners who don't quite understand the way these platforms work?
Sure. So by the way, the YOLO amount by default is at 0.1, but you can change it. If you're a big buyer, whatever you want, YOLO is just like one click, like you don't need to click trade. You don't need to put everything. This might take you like 30 seconds. That many times matters a lot, in meme coins, right? So the YOLO is like, okay, you put here the amount you are comfortable with, maybe 0.5, and in just one click, you are going to be buying the coin, right? Now, the way it works is that you have a dedicated wallet that you need to fund, right? We don't want that you need to connect your Phantom wallet or everything. It has some privacy concerns around it, some security concerns, right? So people prefer to have one wallet that you fund whatever amount you want, like you can afford to lose, sort of, right? As a way of speaking. If you can afford to lose 10 Sol, okay, go and top it up, because with this one we're talking about DGEN meme coin trading, right? And so you choose the amount you put here, and once you of course can always export your private key, right? So you can export your private key, and that one you can put it in Phantom later, or you can withdraw the money at any time, right? Send it somewhere else. But what I recommend, right? If I was a beginner, go and top up your wallet with 1 Sol, put some YOLO amount if you want to try it first at 0.1. Go and buy some calls in the AI feed, in the DGEN feed, monitor them with your with the chart, decide when to sell, and then you're going to see, with time, you're going to see what fits you better, right? What's a better money-making tool for you, right? You can, of course, always join our Discord. You have the links here. You can join our Discord. You can join our Telegram. We are 24/7 there to give you some tips and to answer any doubts you may have.
Okay, now in order to get into your Discord or be able to open up a support ticket, is it token gated by any chance, or can anybody come in and ask questions before they use the platform?
Anybody, absolutely. It's open to everybody.
Okay, and then the only thing I can think of that I'm still curious about that I see is, can you show us maybe the filters and explain how they work so that maybe we can optimize it to what we're looking for? Maybe it's different. Like we want to look for different things, say volume, or I don't know what your options are there.
Correct. Yeah, so imagine you want to filter. Imagine you want to say, look, I don't want to buy a coin that's only 50,000 market cap, right? I want to buy a coin that's minimum 1 million in market cap, right? You could say that, right? Or I don't want to buy a coin if at least there is not $1 million by smart money wallets, right?
Okay.
For example, right? Or, like you could say, I only want to see the coins that have been spotted today, less than 24 hours ago, right? So you play with your filters, and if you play with your filters the way I did, you are probably not going to find anything, right? Because I don't do that. No, but if you filter it the way you want, then you can see, then you can play. I don't normally play a lot with filters because, again, what I really see is how many smart wallets and what percentage of them are still holding the coin, right? So here you can see this Trenches coin is still held by the majority of the smart money wallets. Although I have to say, they don't have a very good average win rate, just 57%, right? But if you go down, you're probably going to find some coins that have, like this Happy, for example, okay, like still 38 smart money wallets holding it, majority of them still holding, and 72% average win rate, right? Okay, this looks to me better than some others up there, right? If I go to the DGEN Feed, by the way, you can sort by time spotted out, but you can also choose most recent buys. So what's telling you is like in real time, who's buying this coin right now, right? So for example, you have this coin, okay, already did a 5x from the market call cap, it was called up to the all-time high, but still held by 28 smart money wallets. Although it seems that 45% of them, more than half of them have already sold, right? So it doesn't look convincing to me, Like you can go and see, and you see, okay, if nothing is convincing to you, then just don't buy, You don't need to be buying coins all the time, right? This is something that when people have been in the trenches for a while might see, you don't have to be aping to every single thing, right?
Right. Now, I do have one more question, Antonio, regarding the filters. So let's say, as you just explained, these filters are meant to be used as tools so we can make educated decisions. Now, let's say there's a token out there that somebody's interested. Can they run that through the Cabbage.app platform to see if it meets the criteria that you guys would consider good buys at that moment? Or does it only show you what your platform has, I guess, filtered at that moment, if that makes sense?
It's a very good question. Yes. So for now, we don't have in the filters. So we are not able to show you what has not been called, but it could be interesting that as a filter, you could also write here any token, for example, bonk, right? And see whether we have called bonk at any time, and what is the X it did, and what is the current percentage of smart money wallets that are still holding it, right? We don't have that capability at the moment, but it's a very good feedback, and I will make sure I'll pass it to the team.
No, thank you very much for that, Antonio. It's, as we said during our amazing spaces together, we are all pioneers of this beautiful new world, and we absolutely appreciate what Cabbage is bringing to Web3, because this is value right here. And I can only imagine where you'll be again 6 months, 2 years, 10 years down the line. So I appreciate all this amazing information.
Awesome. Well, it's very early days for us, but we're very glad that SagaDAO is together with us since the beginning, and your feedback is really very valuable. And we are also looking forward to see that volume you generate and the people you generate have a direct impact onto you, right? Because again, we didn't want to do some sort of, point system or something that's very abstract. We want to since the beginning, give 40% of the swap fees, not 5, not 10%. We'd rather give you almost half of it and have you see it on real time and see the value accrue in real time.
See, and I love it because it perfectly aligns with Alpha Club's mission on giving back. We're giving back 54% of everything that we earn back to our community, because it's community that matters, right? If it wasn't for the community, none of us would be here. Crypto wouldn't be here. Web3, like, it takes real people for it to happen. So
absolutely,
super excited.
Yeah, then it's a double win. I mean, if I'm a SagaDAO member, then with my own code, I'm gonna earn 40%, and also because I was referred by SagaDAO, that's in the end also coming back to me in that 54%, right? So by the moment you sign up, and also with the code you are generating, you can both win as a member.
Absolutely. And it's perfect timing too, because our pre-sale just ended today and claims go live starting tomorrow. So Yeah, it's perfect timing, and I'm super, and I need to stop saying super excited so much, but I am. I'm really
We are.
excited about
Yeah.
seeing what our test bed can do with Cabbage.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting for us because, I mean, as of today, you have a lot of like AI crypto projects, but when you actually read about them, it's just a wrapper of ChatGPT, or it's a project that you have. I mean, why you ask yourself, why do you need a token, or why do you need crypto, right? You can just be an AI platform, right? But this is really like, this is AI applied to markets, and AI applied to Solana, which is the most vibrant trading ecosystem out there, right? And again, it can spot meme coins, but it can also spot solid tokens, right? So I would say this is AI with a purpose, right? This is AI applied to crypto, and it's not just full of buzzwords. It works,
No,
right.
love
Yeah,
it.
and I mean, I personally think alt season is coming upon us. So to be able to use this to be able to catch some alts early, like, wow.
Now, I keep having light bulbs pop up, so I do apologize for saying this my last question, but I do have one last question. I remember at the beginning of our call, you had mentioned that you were cross-chain as well. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, so Stader, Stader is the labs that has built Cabbage, right? So Stader also has a line of liquid stake tokens across, Ethereum, Polygon, BNB, and Hedera. Has 560 million in TVL, but this is a separate line of products, right? Yeah. Now, Cabbage might expand to EVM chains like Base or Binance Chain, just to mention a couple of chains where meme coins are important, or where it matters to buy something fast, right? For now, we're focusing on that major release we have in mid-June. Keep adding as many features as people ask us, right? So we really want to polish the product well in Solana. And then as part of our roadmap, maybe by Q4, for example, we might think of deploying on EVMs, right? So it's part of our roadmap because Stader and Cabbage have always been multi-chain. We are used to build, and by the way, just let me show you, Ethereum, Hedera, Polygon, BNB. So Ethereum, Polygon, and BNB are EVM chain, but we have built in Hedera. We also built in Terra at the time. So we are also very used at, we are a team of devs that can build on Rust, on Solidity, on many different things, right? So we don't fear the fact that we might be moving to EVM because that's something we already know how to do, right? So I'm confident that at a certain point, it's going to be a multi-chain product, that's for sure.
Thank you very much for answering that. I've always considered myself a very cross-chain person. I believe that every chain has its purpose. So I'm just very, very bullish to see AI being utilized, again, cross-chain. And I know that's further along in the future, but the fact that we're already having these sort of conversations makes me extremely bullish.
Awesome. Great to hear.
On my end, that's all the questions that I had. Duck, did you have anything else?
No, I think that was a great presentation, sir, and I really appreciate you doing that for us. Yeah, I feel like it'll really be beneficial to everybody in the DAO and Alpha Club. So
yeah, so let's stay in touch, and we had a trading competition for 2 weeks, about 14K in rewards. It just ended, but we are definitely gonna keep having more and more competitions on top of the referrals. So SagaDAO will always be the first to know, and its members.
Thank you very much, Antonio. And again, we do want to reiterate to our Saga DAO Alpha Club community that we have exclusive referral code with Cabbage.app. We have partnered with them since day one because we truly believe in their vision and the mission that they have brought here to Web3. So we're just extremely bullish on the future, extremely honored to be on this journey with y'all. And I just want to also give a huge thank you to our team lead, Duck. He's the one who went out there and made this partnership and relationship come together, and we couldn't have done that without him. So I just wanted to thank Duck and Antonio just for making this come to life.